And at the time of your arrival, when the window pictures you, in my excitement or denial, just know the words I've written in advance to be true, to whom it may contain.
To the water, the wind carried me out further. Something's been calling me out there. Now I'm running away. I'm dizzy with my memories and the feeling of time spinning past. I got a whiplash, and the cars won't slow. No, they only continue to crash. I'm dizzy. A moment passed so long ago. You left me feeling really broken. Time for you to go. Don't ask me 'cause my answer's no. I'm never gonna sing that low again. It's time for you to go. A moment passed so long ago. You left me feeling really broken. Time for you to go. Don't ask me 'cause my answer's no. I'm never gonna sing that low again. Time for you to go.
So how do we love ourselves if we're tearing each other down? Oh, how do we love somebody else if the cost is the pain of ourselves?
Instead of crying over people who said they were your friends, try one of Netflix's new membership plans. Instead of wasting time on drama, spend it sitting in pajamas watching 4 new seasons of Glee. Now let's see, we could watch a drama or a comedy, action and adventure, sci-fi, thriller, fantasy, romance, horror, or a classic play, shows for the whole family, chick flicks, anime.
All right, that was awesome. Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, good everything. Is very, it's amazing to be here today. We have over 1,000 people attending this house event, this open house. It's amazing. Welcome, everyone. My name is Javier Parra. I'm Assistant Director of Admissions at Berklee College of Music. I am a Berklee alumnus myself. I am a guitar player. I graduated with a degree in music business and management, and I've had the opportunity to meet students all around the world, people like you, people who are interested in knowing what is it about Berklee that makes it so special. Many things make this place so special, and I like to start with the people at Berklee. So welcome everyone, wherever you are. It's a place. It's an amazing place to be here. With me today is Bobby Schrader. And Bobby, you want to introduce yourself?
Awesome. Thanks, Javier. And hello, everyone. My name is Bobby Schrader. I am one of the assistant directors of admissions over at Boston Conservatory at Berklee. And I'd like to echo what Javier said and welcome you all to our virtual open house. We are super excited to have you all here today. What you just saw was a compilation of performances created by our college and conservatory students. And today we will hear presentations from departments across the Berklee institution about what it's like to be a Berklee student. As a reminder, this event is being recorded today, and if you have questions at any time throughout the event, you are more than welcome to post those in the Q&A section. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Dean of Admissions at Berklee, Damien Bracken.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. It's wonderful to see so many people attending today. Of course, we wish we were with you in person, but that's just around the corner, coming soon. Today's presentation will focus on Berklee College of Music and Boston Conservatory at Berklee. We're located in the beautiful Back Bay in Boston, where within minutes, you can be on the banks of the Charles River in one direction and on the steps of the iconic Boston Symphony Hall in the other. Boston Conservatory at Berklee provides a transformative contemporary performing arts education that unleashes potential and empowers artists with the skills, self-awareness, and courage to shape our world and create the future they imagine. Berklee College of Music is the world's preeminent college for the study of music, where students can experience all aspects of the music industry. We're hyper-focused on providing you the tools and supports to develop your artistry, develop your strengths to a world-class level, and realize a successful career. So as you explore this extraordinary place, consider the following. First, our community. Berklee offers the most diverse and welcoming community of creators, innovators, and performing artists in one place anywhere on the planet. Our social contract cultivates an environment where community members of all backgrounds, identities, and abilities feel supported, valued, and empowered. Here you'll make connections from all over the world, and you'll make friends with peers that ultimately become leaders in tomorrow's industry. Our renowned faculty bring their rich professional experience and become your mentors, collaborators, and industry connections. Secondly, our facilities. We boast an impressive state-of-the-art recording complex featuring 19 professional production studios. We also offer a wide variety of recital halls and performance stages, a choice of orchestras, both classical and our recording contemporary orchestra. Over 500 ensembles meet weekly. Extensive practice facilities are available to our students. There are 5 student internet radio stations and a broad variety of specialized institutes like the Jazz and Gender Justice Institute and the Silk Road Boston Conservatory Partnership, and many more. And our students perform on major festival stages around the world. Thirdly, careers. Not only do our graduates go on to successful careers in every sector of music, dance, and theater, but the discipline, adaptability, and creative thinking skills that they acquire often lead them to careers in places like Apple, Google, Facebook, Sony, Universal, and Skywalker Ranch. There's so many ways to engage with the college and conservatory prior to applying, so that you can get a deeper sense of what your experience will be as an undergraduate. So I encourage you to explore our summer programs. There are so many to choose from, the most popular of which is our Aspire 5-week performance program, which this summer will be held fully on campus. Also, explore Berklee online with hundreds of courses to choose from to help you prepare for college while developing your artistry. Or you might take one of our free MOOCs on the Coursera platform. So welcome again. I hope you have a wonderful experience engaging with us today. And now it's my pleasure to introduce from our Center for Diversity and Inclusion, Jasmine Parker. Jasmine.
Thank you very much, Damien. Hello, everyone. I am Jasmine Parker, Associate Director for Diversity and Inclusion across our Berklee network. I do welcome you to our community space in this session. And I know that there are a ton of questions being asked and answered so far. Please feel free to continue asking your questions in that Q&A area, and we will get to your questions as soon as possible. At this time, I'm going to introduce diversity and inclusion and what that means for our Berklee community. So as we explore diversity and inclusion, first I want to provide you with some brief examples and definitions of what diversity, equity, and inclusion actually means and look like for Berklee. Diversity is about recognizing, acknowledging, and honoring and finding value in the rich tapestry of who each individual person is, recognizing that everyone holds multiple identities at one time, and honoring all of those identities, celebrating those identities, and valuing who each individual person is, and not what we perceive an identity group to be or function like. Inclusion is ensuring that the space is hospitable, welcoming, and has and sustains a sense of belonging for each individual person, so that they can ultimately thrive, be who they are, be proud of who they are, and have the community celebrate and support who they are. And equity is about recognizing that sometimes there are many opportunities that may be provided for one or a specific group of people. And we recognize that there are some barriers in our society that must come down and be dismantled. So with equity, we ensure that we provide opportunities for everyone to thrive. And it is about fairness and justice, regardless of any identity, especially historically targeted identities in our society and in our world. At this time, I'm going to briefly introduce my team. My team is led, and you can advance, my team is led by Dr. Lucretia Johnson-Flash, who serves as the Vice President for Diversity and Inclusion. I am her left and right hand. I am Dr. Jasmine Parker. I serve as Associate Director for Diversity and Inclusion. We also have Simone Francis, who serves as our Assistant Director for Student Engagement, bringing a lot of student-centered programming in a digital space and face-to-face space for our student community. And we also have our administrative assistant, our administrative coordinator and outreach assistant, Amanda Bedford, who provides many program coordinating functions and tasks and skills to our team. So at this time, what I'm going to do now is just provide you with some examples of what we do and what that actually looks like. We engage in a lot of different work around our campus and across our institution in order to advance the work and amplify the work of diversity and inclusion. Again, recognizing that many of our identities in our world have been targeted. Anti-Asian violence has been on the rise. Anti-Black violence has been on the rise. And so we produce not only newsletters, educational resources, statements, but we also provide programming, professional development opportunities, and trainings. And you can see that list on the next slide. In addition to some of these offerings, we also provide space for people to be in community, to have intergroup dialogue, as well as provide grants and opportunities for not only student organizations, but we also partner with students when they come up with really great ideas that we can bring to the actual Berklee community, across the community, because of our being positioned within the administration. Here are a couple of examples of those student-created programs that help to celebrate not only the identities of students, but the accomplishments of students as well. On the left, you see the graduates, Jabulani. That is a congratulatory ceremony for students who identify in the African diaspora. And on the right, we have the graduates, Lavender, and that is for graduating students who are members of the LGBTQIA+ community. Both of these congratulatory ceremonies were the ideas of students, and we partnered with students in 2019 to bring these congratulatory congratulatory ceremonies to the Berklee Boston campus. We continue to lead the charge by working with students and community to provide digital congratulatory ceremonies in this virtual space. So again, welcome to our Berklee informational session today. And as a reminder, we are here to create a fair, welcoming, belonging, and inclusive environment that celebrates everyone for who they are. You can reach out to us at diversityandinclusion@berklee.edu by email, and you can also follow us on our IG page at Berklee CDEI. And if you're still a Facebooker, we also have a Facebook page as well. So go ahead and screenshot this and follow us. Thank you so much and welcome. At this time, I'm going to punt it off to my colleague, Eric Crumrine in residential education.
All right, hello and good morning, everybody. My name is Eric Crumrine. I serve as the Associate Director for Residential Education. We can click onto the next slide real quick. Awesome. So I'm just here to talk briefly about housing, kind of what we can offer for students who are attending in the coming years. So we provide space for the student and staff to thrive in a living, learning environment. For a lot of students, this is a chance to develop some skills around responsibility, independence, leadership, teamwork, conflict resolution, and some problem solving. So I'm going to go over just a couple of the buildings that we have on campus so you get an idea of what campus feels like if you do choose to live on campus. So 150 Mass Ave is one of our biggest buildings. It has a lot of doubles and triples. Some major highlights for a lot of folks are that they do come with private bathrooms. And then we do have practice rooms in the building. We also have what are called living learning communities, which are spaces that are tied to academic courses. And so students that are in the LENS courses, their first semester, there are sections that live in the floors together and have a chance to kind of build that community. 160 Mass Ave is our newest building. It houses our core music LLC, which is a chance for students to work a little bit on those core music skills, as well as the LENS LLC. We have doubles and triples in this building as well. Some major highlights for the 160 building is the dining hall is right there, so you just got to walk downstairs. We have a fitness center on the 4th floor that people can use, as well as some more practice rooms in that space. 270 Com Ave is another building of ours that is a little bit off, kind of on the corner of campus. It is an older building. It is one of the buildings that students fall in love with. It has a lot of charm to it. The living learning communities we have in there focus around social justice and a substance-free community. So folks that are making that decision to live, a substance-free, alcohol and drug-free life. We have doubles, triples, and quads in that space. And there's also a small fitness center as well as some additional practice rooms. 98 Hemingway is another one of our buildings. This one does not have living learning communities in it. It typically is, I think, more of our returners and continuing students that choose to live in this space. Doubles, triples, and quads. And then there is a very large lounge on the ground floor with ping pong tables where we do a lot of tournaments, as well as some of their practice rooms as well. And then our last area that'll be coming up is the Fenway area, which is typically only for first-year conservatory students. This is legacy conservatory housing. And so there are doubles, triples, quads, and even some quints. And when I say that they are quints, they are massive spaces in these like very historic brownstone buildings that the Fenway students just fall in love with every year. It's a great location for the conservatory students. Their classes are right next door. And it's just really nice buildings. And then we'll run to the next slide. So all of that is just a quick overview of the buildings we have on our campus. The big thing is once you get here, it's a good chance to meet your RA, who's a resident assistant, which is an undergrad student who has been here before, has been here for a couple of years. They know the ropes. They're there to help you make sure you have a good experience. You get to meet your roommates and you go over roommate agreements to make sure living in spaces you're on the same page for everything. And then you have a chance to get involved. So there's hall councils and there's other ways in the space to be involved. And I believe that is my last slide. I'm going to turn it over to Kathy Anderson from Student Financial Services.
All right, good morning and thank you. My name is Kathy Anderson. I oversee Student Financial Services, which is the scholarships department and the financial aid for students at Berklee and the Berklee College of Music and the Boston Conservatory. I'm really happy to be able to speak with you today. One of the things we really stress when applying to Berklee, and when I say Berklee, I mean both the college and the conservatory, is that attending Berklee is an academic as well as a financial decision. This really needs to be considered when you're applying, and you need to think through your financial plan. Think in terms of the length of your program, the entire program. If you're applying for a degree or a diploma, know that you have a complete plan to pay for all the semesters you'll be here with us. I've seen some questions in the chat about double majors, and those are also, those go beyond 8 semesters. So really you do need to have a complete plan in place. In terms of aid offered, we offer merit-based aid, which is determined at the time of your audition, and you'll receive notification of your scholarship at the time you're admitted. We also have very limited need-based funding, and that is primarily for US students, domestic students. And there is still time to submit your, that actually is, if you're applying for fall of 22, the applications for financial aid become available in this October. So you have plenty of time to do it in advance. I know there might be some students who have already been accepted. So if you haven't completed your financial aid application, there is still time to do so. So let's talk a little bit about the types of aid that are offered. There's lots of questions about scholarships and how you get scholarships. All applicants are considered. You do not need to fill out a separate application. At the time of your admission, at the time of your audition, that is when you're considered for your scholarship. It's a holistic review. So we're looking at your audition, your interview, your academics, and any supplemental materials that you have submitted. If you've got a website, if you've got some YouTube links you want to send us, any compositions you've done, that should all be submitted at the time of application. And as I said, your decision is released at the same time as your admission decision. About 40 to 45% of Berklee College students are awarded scholarships, and 60 to 80% of conservatory students are given scholarships. They are, again, awarded at the point of admission, and they are eligible. You are able to get them for up to 4 years or 8 semesters. And we have sometimes students who've come to a 5-week program and an Aspire program, and you receive a scholarship at that time. We will give you the higher of the two. So there are no stacking of the scholarships, but you will receive the highest of the 2 scholarships that you've been awarded. Even with scholarships, we know that there are sometimes the need to apply for additional funding. Berklee participates in the federal student aid programs, which are grants, federal work study, and student and parent loans. And I know my colleague from the career services will talk a little bit about student employment as well. But the federal student aid programs are the ones where you'd complete the free application for federal student aid, and we would determine your eligibility at that point. There are some really good resources available on the Student Financial Services website that talk a lot about what we offer in great depth. Next, please. When you get your financial aid package, it's usually a combination of multiple things. It could be scholarships and grants. You could get some loans. You could also get determined eligibility for loans that would be used to cover the gap that your scholarships and grants don't cover. Scholarships and grants from Berklee will not exceed tuition. So if you're coming to Berklee, you also need to have a plan as to how to pay your living expenses. But yeah, your aid package you will receive all of this information at one time. And I just want to say, I saw a question in the chat too about if you are an accepted student, you will usually get your aid package several weeks after your admission decision. Other financial options, student employment, which I know is coming up. There are private scholarships, and what I mean by that are we get a lot of students who have scholarships from either their hometown, local organizations, their high school, and they come with those scholarships to go to Berklee. There are also resources on our website on the Student Financial Services page that talk about outside scholarships that you may want to consider. We offer you the ability to pay your bill each semester over 5 months with no interest. That's information that you would get at the time of when your bill is due. We also offer private loans, and those are loans that could come from really anywhere. It could come from a bank. If you're an international student, there may be resources in your home country that you could use to come to Berklee. So really, we see a very broad array of products available to help you pay for your education. And again, for international students, you are reviewed for scholarships during the admission process. So again, there is no additional application that you need to complete. You are eligible to work on campus. And we actually ask that you complete the profile. It's not a requirement, but we do have a program called the Thrive Scholarship, which is offered to students as you progress in your career at Berklee. So it doesn't come at the point of admission, but it might come midway through your time with us. And that is a significant amount of money that can help you defray your tuition. It is awarded to students who have excellent grades, complete at least 94% of their classes, and demonstrate financial need. So with all those three things on file, the profile will help us determine if you are eligible for that. Those scholarships can be as much as tuition. More information is available on the Student Financial Services website. And again, I've referenced our website a bunch of times, but it is Student Financial Services page on the Berklee website. You look under grants and scholarships, and that's where you'll find us. We have an award letter guide, which is actually available to you now. It'll show you, and it'll talk all about the financing options available. We have links to the applications that you would need to complete for federal aid. We also have the outside scholarship page. For domestic students, studentaid.gov is an excellent resource. collegeboard.org is where you'd go to complete the profile, and they have a scholarship search engine as well. And MIFA.org is a Massachusetts-based organization that helps students prepare for college and has some really awesome financing tips. And thank you. If you have questions, you can email us at financialaid@berklee.edu, and we will get right back to you. We have an awesome service team who's happy to talk to you about financial aid. So again, thank you so much for your interest. And it's now my pleasure to turn this over to Rosemary Dowling from Campus Life.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. I'm very excited to welcome you. Campus Life is an area, despite your best efforts, you cannot practice 24 hours a day or be in your classes 24 hours a day, though I know some of you would prefer that. So the Center for Campus Life is an area to help you kind of meet friends, socialize, get out of your get out of your minds a little bit so you can relax, and then get back to your practicing. So if you come to the Center for Campus Life, which we have a space in 150 Mass Ave, and we have several different lounges there. There's, board games, we have a pool table, ping pong table, we have a room that's filled with beanbag, for if you need a place to take a nap during the day, anything like that. So there's a lot of places for you to just come, hang out, meet other people. We also offer a series of discounts and, movie passes, things like that you can get so you can go out and explore Boston. Campus Life oversees student involvement, which is our area that oversees clubs and organizations. So we have over 55 active student clubs right now in our remote period. Typically in a normal year, we're closer to over 80 student clubs. Those range anywhere from industry specific clubs, like the Music Business Club or the Music Education Club. But we also have identity-based clubs like our Black Student Alliance, Asian Americans in Music Entertainment, LGBT Plus United. And then we have, clubs just for fun. We have the Esports Club, which is a competitive gaming club. We also have Ultimate Frisbee and some others. So whatever your interests are, it's likely that there is a club that exists to help you. If not, you can also start a new club. So our office can help you with that process. We also do events, so you don't have to be a part of a club. You can just stop by. We throw a huge finals party in the cafeteria where we throw, we have a dance floor and a bunch of snacks, just a way to celebrate the end of the semester and all sorts of things like that. Campus Life also oversees new student and family programs. Go to the next slide, please. So our new student and family programs, you're asking a lot of great questions in the chat. And as you get closer to your starting at Berklee, we'll throw an orientation for both students and family members so we can make sure we're answering a lot of those questions in depth for you. We'll start our programming over the summer for fall entering students, and you'll be able to ask questions, meet with a student leader to hear their perspective, and that will continue on into September when you arrive on campus, and we'll work with you to get through auditions and placement and work with your class schedules and all of those types of things. So orientation is going to be that resource that really helps get you ready to start your classes. We also have a online course that we put together for you that helps you kind of walk through all the little things on your own pace over the summer, so you have some time to work on that. You can check out all of our information. I do recommend doing that. Families especially, I know sometimes you can feel a little bit lost in the shuffle here. So our office is the area that you can definitely reach out to at all times. So if you go to berklee.edu/families, that place will give you an option to sign up for our newsletters. It's a little bit early for you all to sign up, but you can sign up now if you'd like, just to get an idea of what's coming. But please know that that information is geared towards our students who are currently on campus. Thanks. Sorry, and I forgot to turn it over to my colleague, Sean. Sorry, Sean.
It's all right. Thank you, Rosemary. Welcome, everyone. We're so happy to have you with us today. My name is Sean Hagon. I'm the Associate Dean of Career Education and Services here at the college. I'm also a Berklee alum and former chair of professional music. And the Career Center does a number of things. And we inspire, we educate, and we connect. And we can do that in a number of ways. And so why don't we move on to the next slide, and we'll show you how we do that. Just a few of the ways, again, this is what we do, but just an overview. We have advising. So we align directly with a student's education and give one-on-one advising appointments, career advising appointments to help students be successful in the industry. And this is also done through a number of resources where we can provide, we can go back to the previous slide, please, for a minute. Thank you. Number of resources where we do industry guides, we connect to industry directories, how to prepare your resume, website, LinkedIn profile, a number of different resources to ensure and sustain a student's career and also their education while they're at Berklee. We also facilitate all of the industry internship programs. And so we work directly with faculty and also of our industry employer partners to bring real world experience to the classroom and also to the industry, so they're getting firsthand experience. And we currently have over 90 students on spring internships, either in person or having done remotely. And in addition to that, another way that students can gain some experience is through student employment through on-campus work. And so again, these are just some of the things that we do. We can get a little bit more into detail on the next slide. And so again, some of the other resources that we do, the Berklee Career Manager is basically, it's a one-stop shop for all internships, gigs, part-time jobs, full-time jobs that come directly through the Career Center team. And it's a way to help students explore a variety of career opportunities from full-time positions in student employment to startups, internships, and freelance ventures. The Berklee Hub is basically, it's going to be the primary official communications platform for students, alumni, faculty, and staff. And it features announcements for a student's particular department, exclusive events, news stories from berklee.edu, course posts, internships, gigs, and jobs from the Berklee Career Manager. And it's tailored to the specific student. And they're automatically subscribed to certain hub feeds based on their department, their instrument, and their role at Berklee. In addition to that, we provide some resource guides. Some of those are resumes for LinkedIn, the right way to write a resume, also how do you put a cover letter together, website development, a number of industry resource guides that they're very informative and very important to students' education that we provide. And lastly, as part of our resources, we have the Berklee Connect. We're able to connect students to alumni in the industry, but also industry partners, our employers as well. And so there's a networking and a family that provides some support out in the industry when students graduate and also prior to graduation. Next slide, please. So again, these are just some of the ways that we assist Berklee students, but we do so much more, but just to highlight some of the big pieces that we do. Again, resume and cover letter review. We do some, again, professional workplace etiquette, website development. Funding for internships. We provide up to $5,000 funding as a fellowship for students to be able to complete their internship during that particular semester that they can apply for. We provide interview techniques and mock-up interview sessions to prepare them for a particular interview that they might have for a job or an internship. We have industry insider trips to Los Angeles, New York, all the major music hubs. And once we're back, in person and the industry starts to open back up, we're planning on, reorganizing and bringing those industry trips back to the community where students are able to travel. We have 120 students that go on our Nashville trip to meet with singers and songwriters and industry professionals. We also do a number of workshops and clinics with visiting artists and industry professionals every semester. So again, this is just some of the ways that we assist Berklee students during their time here. And in addition to when they graduate, we are also assisting alumni after their graduation. So we are a lifeline for as long as a student and as long as an alumni needs it. Next slide, please. And so one of the main ways that the Career Center is organized is around 7 different communities. And this is business, composition, design, education, health and wellness, performance, and production. And all of the majors in the college on the Berklee College of Music side are centered around these career communities. And you can find more about these career communities at the berkeley.edu/careers. And that's where you'll also find the Berklee Career Center site as well, with all of the information that I've been sharing with you today in greater detail. But it's a great way for students to check out all the different potential career paths in the performing arts industries, but also in technology and other parts of the industry roles that are out there, so they can further and discover some of the industry roles that they may not even thought that were possible. So it's a great way to be able to navigate those waters and have an idea of what's my career going to look like if I were to choose performance, if I were to choose theater, if I were to choose business, with examples of alumni that are working in the industry, and then also other types of jobs that are directly connected to those particular industries. Next slide, please. And so these are some of our signature events. We run a regular visiting artist series that we've been doing in the fall and in the spring, and bringing some well-known artists to the campus. We've had Charlie Pruth, we've had JP Sachs, we've had Julia Michaels, Daniel Platzman, who's the drummer for Imagine Dragons. So a lot of great artists coming and sharing their firsthand knowledge in the industry. We also provide a virtual job and internship expo, so we connect students to employers in the industry. We have a professional relationship with Wix, where we bring Wix to the classroom to help students develop their website in their portfolio for graduation, which is a valuable tool that they'll need post-graduation once they're out in the industry. Berklee Career Jam, which you'll learn a little bit more in a moment, is our big signature event. This is our in-house campus-wide industry conference that we have available. Basically what it does is it's a lineup of individual influential industry experts, including alumni from all kinds of different companies from the performing arts, entertainment, and technology industries. And it's our goal to inspire, educate, and connect our students to the many pathways and industry trends that will broaden the scope of their career possibilities for students. And that's done through the Career Jam industry-wide conference and workshop that we have. The network before you move, we're able to connect students that are shortly getting ready to graduate and connect them to all of the different industry hubs, and be able to meet people and network with alumni, industry professionals in the industry, so that they're able to set themselves up for success, gain some guidance, get some insight, and also provide some mentorship as well, and also a mentor network so that they can connect directly with industry professionals that can then help to ensure their success. And with that, I'm going to leave you with a little bit of a Career Jam video to tell you a little bit more about it.
And one of the most amazing, inspiring things ever is to watch the youth are not having it. You're not getting my master's. You're not gonna own my publishing. I don't need you. I love it, love it, love it, love it. You guys are so inspiring to me.
So this is a Career Jam.
Lauren Seward is coming. Ebony Smith.
Atlantic Records, RCA Records.
Literally like the best of the biggest music labels and industry professionals. It's also a super good opportunity to get internships, jobs, and just make like real life, tangible industry connections.
Went to an alumni panel. We get to do a lot of sessions and auditions.
We were auditioning for Gil Smith.
We had the whole band here, and this is for a summer tour.
My favorite part of Career Jam would have to be the Broadway panel. It was really exciting to see the two programs of Berklee and Boston Conservatory merge together and have something for conservatory students here at Career Jam.
I just came from Your Songs, Your Rights, Your Business, and I got to hear from BMI, CSAC, ASCAP.
I felt like it was amazing. I learned a lot. It was very insightful, and I'm glad I came.
Once you get out of Berklee, it's kind of the Wild West, and they're down to give all the students just a lot of juice and knowledge and their experiences to help us better make a decision on what we want to do once we get out of school.
You need to learn who you are and find the value in it. You know, it's like a diamond cutter, you know, looking at a piece of rough. It's like they have to look at the best angle and see what the best part of it is, the best part of your personality, the best part of your voice, the best part of what it is that you do as a musician.
To give to these kids a sustainable career. That's the goal of Berklee.
I think the Career Jam is a good opportunity for students to find out what they want to do.
And with that, I'm going to turn it over to our student speaker, Trinity Reyes-Escobar.
Hello everyone, thank you for attending this year's open house. We are so thrilled and excited to have you here with us today. My name is Trinity Reyes-Escobar and I am from Palm Springs, California, so I am from a very sunny place. I am a 6th semester music business and songwriting major here at the college, and I'm also a student recruiter / tour guide. So I'm basically here to let you know that we are currently offering virtual admissions information sessions throughout the week for both Berklee and the Boston Conservatory. So if you'd like to sign up, just go on our admissions page on the Berklee website. So very, very cool opportunity there. You'll learn about the history of Berklee, you'll learn about how you actually apply to the school, what the audition process looks like, the cool opportunities that we offer. So much information, but just so great. And we'll also have some time at the end to answer any questions that you may have. And also just remember that all tour guides are current students, so you'll really be able to ask us anything that you want to know. So that could be a personal experience. If you want us to clarify anything, we will answer it all. So yeah, again, thank you for coming to this year's open house, and have a great day.
Thank you, Trinity. We are now going to transition over to the Q&A portion of our event. As a reminder, if you do have questions, please feel free, to post them in the Q&A section. Our first question is, what is the difference between Berklee College of Music and Boston Conservatory at Berklee? Javier, I'll have you describe Berklee's offerings first, and then I'm happy to talk about the conservatory.
Thanks, Bobby, and thanks everyone for the presentation. So Berklee College of Music started in 1945, and on our DNA is this pursuit of educating students through the music of today. So the college developed to teach students with not only teaching the great masters of contemporary popular music, but also taking a look at what's happening right now. This is how we developed as an institution. We looked at the time, the electric guitar is not only something that's isolated from music, is really huge. And at the time we incorporated the electric guitar. We recently incorporated EDI, the electronic device instrument, and so many other breakthrough moments at the college. So what defines the college is our approach to contemporary music, whether it's jazz, rock, pop, Americana, world music, you name it. This is who we are. We of course embrace classical music, orchestral music in many perspectives. And at the time, a few years ago, it made sense to look at that in much more depth. So I'll let you talk about that, Bobby.
Sure, happy to. So Boston Conservatory at Berklee offers mainly performance-based programs in music, dance, and theater, whereas Berklee College of Music additionally will offer music industry majors in addition to performance. So music business, songwriting, music therapy, music education, whereas at the conservatory, you're mainly going to focus on performance. And for music specifically, it's going to be mostly focused on classical music. That includes contemporary classical music as well. And what's great about the relationship between both schools is that students collaborate with one another. So there's a lot of different collaborative performance opportunities, the ability to take classes at the other institution. So we're just a really wonderful, comprehensive institution for the performing arts.
All right, and at this point, we're going to be taking hopefully some of your questions. And I'd like to ask everyone, from our panelists to join us as we start. All right.
All right, and our first question is for you, Eric. In terms of housing, Do students have to live on campus for their first year?
Sure, and that's a great question. So the answer is no. Students are not required to live on campus their first year. We do encourage it. We do think there's a lot of benefits to living on campus, but if that is not a right fit for you, we do also offer an off-campus housing website with a bunch of resources about realtors, about people looking for roommates or having space available that they're looking for. So no, you don't have to live on campus. We love having everyone join us on campus. But again, if that is not the right thing for you at this point, we do have a number of resources for off-campus housing.
All right. I see a question. If your primary musical skill is producing, not an instrument, not even an electronic instrument, is Berklee a good place for you or not so much? So I like to approach this answer as this, when you want to become a producer, the ability to play an instrument in much more depth, to understand it and to understand its role in a producing setting, how you're interacting with musicians, you become a much more versatile producer. If you want to come to Berklee, we ask students to, focus on one instrument. And as you move on your studies and you choose a major, you're going to be focusing on that major. If it's not performance, then you're going to be focusing on producing in this example, contemporary writing and production, or music production engineering, and you're going to be able to apply those skills on your instrument to everything you're doing in producing. So I would say yes, definitely you need to play an instrument to come at Berklee, and as you move on, you will decide the level of depth that you're going to be applying to learning that instrument.
Great. And our next question is for Kathy. What assistance is available for international students in terms of financial aid?
Great. Thank you for the question. As I mentioned, international students are evaluated for scholarships at the time of their audition, and students are also able to look for employment on campus. The federal programs I referenced are for domestic students. International students would also be considered for what we call the Thrive Scholarship, which is a scholarship that comes after you've been admitted and have successfully completed at least, I think it's 2 years at this point at Berklee. So those would also be available to international students. I do recommend that international students also do some research in their own country to see what options are available for them to come to the US.
All right. See a question for Rosemary. How much equipment should I bring with me, new dorm student, for next year? Do I need to bring my own piano, amp, etc.?
Sure. Actually, probably let Eric answer that one. Eric.
It's for Eric. I'm sorry.
All right. I would say I think a lot of that comes down to what all you feel like you need, and knowing that like the spaces that we have, you're going to be potentially having roommates and having other folks with you. We do have practice rooms that have pianos. We do have spaces on campus that do provide some of that equipment. So I think that's going to very much come down to your individual program and the things you need for those. So we try to encourage people to pack light if they can, because it's not like your own room with an entire array of space. But we do provide some of those resources through our practice rooms and other spaces on campus.
Thank you, Eric.
All right. Thank you, Eric.
Oh yeah, this question is for Jasmine. Are there specific affinity clubs for students on campus?
Yes, there are a number of affinity clubs for students on campus. Students actually self-register their organization annually, and those clubs range from Asian Americans in music and entertainment to the Black Student Union for the College of Music, the Black Student Association for the Conservatory. We also have a number of other programs like the Latin American Association of Students at Berklee. It stands for LABS, it's Latin American Berklee Students, and a number of other organizations. I'm actually going to click a link here into the chat for everyone, and you can peruse some of those organizations. And Rosemary also can provide more detail on those student clubs, organizations, and how they're supported at Berklee.
All right. Another question for Eric. When is applying for housing due?
So if you were attending for this fall, the housing application is due by May 5th if you're an incoming student, and then for next year we'll have updated dates for prospective students that are looking to come in the coming years.
Thank you, Eric. Our next question is for Sean. Can I work on campus, and how do I find an on-campus job?
Yes, you can. So the Career Center supports all student employment initiatives across the college, and that you apply through the Berklee Career Manager, as you may have heard me mention earlier in our presentation. And that's also where you will find, off-campus internships as well. But all student employment is coordinated through the Career Center and through our site, and then through that Berklee Career Manager. So once you are a student, and even as an alumni, you are able to then access that resource to be able to apply for on-campus positions. And it's a great way to build your resume and industry experience through student employment as well. So very simple, very easy process, just like any other job that you would, but it's facilitated through the Career Center.
All right. And another question for Sean, is it ideal to pursue a career path in Asia after graduating from Berklee?
I'm sorry, what's the question again?
Is it ideal to pursue a career path in Asia after graduating from Berklee?
There's a
Maybe
number.
your thoughts on it. Yeah.
Yeah, again, the great thing about the resources that we offer, the industry is very much centered around relationships. So it's not only what you do, but it's who you know and who knows you. So with anywhere that you are, in any part of the world, any part of the industry, it's about network. And so developing those relationships, developing those networks are going to be crucial to anyone's success, in terms of those situations with the jobs and also having the right training. And those are things that we do help you with. We will connect you to employers. We will connect you to alumni that are in those areas and in those regions and in those areas of the world as well, to help you, again, make those relationships, make those connections, but also to help you ensure, a degree of success in whatever part of the industry you wish to explore.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Sean. Our next question is for Rosemary. Are there sports at Berklee?
Great question. We've in the past had a partnership with Emerson College where our students were able to participate in their varsity athletics program. That's currently not being offered at the moment. And so we are looking at other alternatives and trying to find some ways to keep our students active if that's what you're interested in. In the interim, we do have that Ultimate Frisbee Club though, so that's a good one to check out. And if there is enough interest, again, we can always look into something or start something. It really is driven by our students here. So if there's something you're looking to do and we don't offer it, I highly recommend you come and chat with us and we can try our best to figure out what that looks like.
All right. Thanks, Rosemary. I'm also seeing a lot of questions about the audition. Do I need to audition if I want to major in music business, for example, at the college? Yes, you do need to audition. The audition is to enter Berklee, not to enter a major. You will typically choose a major after your second semester, typically. So yes, you do need to audition. And a reminder, if you don't know, we will have a session at 1 p.m. Eastern time. We were going to talk about the audition, and we're going to have a mock audition. So hopefully you can join us there.
Excellent. Our next question is for Sean. Can I do an internship? So if you could just describe the internship process a little more, that would be great.
Absolutely, you can do an internship. And as I had pointed out, we've got over 90 students doing internships this spring, both in a on-site or a remote environment. Again, that's facilitated through the Career Center. And after your second full semester of being enrolled at the college, you are then eligible for an internship. And then you just contact the Career Center. We take you through a series of what we call as a pathways to have you become eligible. And then we take you through that process of how to search for an internship, the right places to look. Again, that's all done through the Berklee Career Manager. And then that's when we also connect all of the resources. So the resume and cover letter guides that you're going to need as part of that process. And what does that look like and what does that entail? And so, and the thing is that we strongly encourage students to do an internship because 94% of employers, not even just in the music industry, but in any industry in general, 94% of employers are more likely to hire a graduate that's done an internship than someone who is not. It is the #1 characteristic or basically skill set that they're looking for students.
Thanks, Shan. Question for housing. So Eric, what types of security are available for students living on campus?
Yeah, sure. So our residence halls all are card access only. So you have to have an ID card to be able to tap to get into the building. And most of our buildings also have security guards that are stationed at the very front of each building. So when people are coming in, they're watching you tap in and make sure that you have access to go into the building. In the evenings, our resident assistants do rounds the buildings to make sure that people are behaving themselves, that there's folks know who they are, and if there's anything that people need, they have a friendly face that they can talk to, as well as our public safety who does rounds of the campus as well.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Eric. And we have a question here about the application process for both Berklee College of Music and Boston Conservatory at Berklee. I'm happy to talk about the conservatory application process. So they are two separate application processes for both schools. For the conservatory specifically, the first step is to fill out your application form at berklee.edu/apply. Additionally, what you'll want to do as part of the application process is to provide supporting documents, so transcripts, proof of English proficiency, an online video interview as well for our undergraduate applicants. And then, of course, you will perform an audition. Some of our programs are pre-screened, where you submit videos of yourself performing pieces that are representative of the audition requirements to see if you are eligible for an audition. All of that information is available on our website, so you can definitely check that out. And that's pretty much it. It's a pretty simple process. And Javier, if you want to talk about the college application process.
Yeah, for the college, rather similar. You go to our website, we have a button that says apply because we want you to apply. We encourage you to apply at all times. So it's a 3-step process. You send us your application, and with your application, you're gonna, of course, tell us who you are. You're gonna send us links to some of the videos that you'd like us to see, and any other additional documentation you'd like to send. That's where you do it. Once you send your application and submit it, we're going to schedule you for an audition. This year, we've done virtual online auditions the whole year. Typically, we also have in-person auditions. So you go through your audition and interview in the same day. And the third step, you need to send us your academic transcripts. If you haven't graduated yet, the requirement is for you to have graduated from high school at the time of your enrollment at Berklee. So if you haven't graduated yet, you don't have, of course, final transcripts, send us what you have. Send us your partial transcripts. But it's important for us to have those 3 elements in order for you to receive a final admissions decision. So apply, send us your application, go through the audition and interview, and send us your transcripts. Let's see, any other questions we see here? Again, want to remind everyone to join us for the mock-up audition at 1 p.m. Eastern.
Excellent.
And
well, I think we're all set, unless Javier, you had another question you wanted to ask.
I think our website is full of really great resources. So I'm gonna finalize, I'm gonna share my screen right now with the end of the presentation, because I want everyone to have our contact information, because we do get to your emails every day. We reply to your questions every day. They are very important, and we want you to reach out to us. So admissions@berklee.edu. If you want to reach anyone at the College of Music, please do. For the conservatory at Berklee, conservatoryadmissions@berklee.edu, and we will get to your questions. So feel free to reach out to us at any time. So I want to thank everyone. Thank you, Bobby. Thank every one of the panelists and the student who joined us today. I hope we can see all of you applying for Berklee in the near future.
Yes, and thank you everyone so much for being here today. As Javier mentioned, we do have the mock audition and interview event for Berklee College of Music students at 1 o'clock. We also have 3 divisional information sessions for the conservatory, one for music, one for dance, and one for theater. Links to register for all of those events have been posted in the chat, so please feel free to join us. We will now close out the evening with the day with another student performance. This final video will showcase the Berklee World Strings Ensemble, which is a college ensemble and one of the many cross-registration examples available to conservatory students. So thank you so much for being here today, and we look forward to receiving your applications in the future.
Eu quis amar, mas tive medo. Eu quis salvar teu coração, mas o amor sabe um segredo. O medo pode matar do teu coração. Água de beber, camará. Água de beber, camará. Eu nunca fiz coisa tão certa. Entrei pra escola do perdão. A minha casa vive aberta. Abre todas as portas do meu coração. Água de beber, água de beber, camará. Água de beber, água de beber, camará. para un